Now this song we cut on my first Warner Brothers record, Talk to Your Daughter. It's the name of the album. The song's called Revelation. And when we recorded it there, I didn't play any chords on it. I basically approached it as a saxophone player would. I just played melodies, soloed. And I really grew up playing that way a lot. I always liked saxophone players, and I probably didn't even know the chords to the song when we cut it, you know. I learned to play it by ear, and so I'll do my best to demonstrate the chords for you that I can. Okay, now the first 8 bars of this song are pretty much what we call diatonic, which means it stays within the one particular scale. In this case, there are G scale, G7 scale. Except there's one point where it takes a little twist, which is around the 4th bar. It goes to a B7. So we'll play the first 8 bars for you just a couple of times. 1, 2, 3. C, B7. So I don't know if you noticed that, but when we came to the B7, I quite deliberately played right out of the B7 chord. Basically, there are 2 scales that I like to play against that B7 chord. One is the Mixolydian mode in B7. And also it's actually the C diminished scale, but we're starting on the last degree of that scale, which would be B. There's the C. So it's a series of half steps and whole steps, starting from B. Half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, ad infinitum. So that one in particular sounds real hip. I'll try to play it right now against that B7. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Now the bridge, or the B section to this particular song, has a series of chords which, again, although they have a real natural flow and you can really kind of keep within the blues in playing to it, they have a couple of key points like the first part of the tune. Like that B7 was just a little shift in the tonality. So I'll try to illustrate it a little bit here. The end of it, the end of the A part, getting into the next part, starts C over D, E flat diminished to E minor 7. Now we have C minor 6, major 7, D minor 7, basically D flat 9, flat 5, C, and then a 1-6, there's a 6, 2-5, G7. The chord that I showed you a moment ago, second chord after the E minor 7, this is the one where the tonality changes, shifts a little bit. You really have to get a little bit outside of the blues, straight blues scale here. Now, this chord can be interpreted a couple of different ways. One as a B, raise 9, raise 5 chord, or another as C minor 6, major 7 with the third in the root. And the scale that is played over this, and I hope this isn't confusing, but it is a C melodic minor scale, once again starting on the last degree of the scale, which is B. That's the scale. So we'll play it starting on the E minor 7 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you might have noticed a couple of chords right after the E minor 7 and the B altered here, which is basically a 2-5 to C, D minor, C sharp 7 flat 5, or G7 with C sharp in the bass to C. Very useful scale on any 2-5-1, D minor, G7, C major. D is the D melodic minor. Goes nicely to C, you can hear that. So we'll play that part again and see if you can hear that in there. The bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sonically, the chords to the chorus are not that much different from the bridge, except perhaps one chord. So you have this, and right here is a D sharp diminished going to E minor, and then we have that C minor, major 6, major 7, or B altered chord, once again, with a third in the root. And the rest of it is basically the G major scale. Now the scale for the D sharp diminished chord here is as follows. And I have a habit of adding an extra note to it, adding a D natural. And you can see it seems to come out of a B tonality, right? It's D sharp diminished. But it's sort of like B altered with the third in the root. So we'll play a little bit of this again, and the chorus of the tune here, and I'll play through that a little bit. 1, 2. So I hope that gives you some idea of what's going on with this particular tune. I'd really play this song by ear, always have, and just, that's kind of the key, to keep your ear open to the chords as they go by. And the more you play with the tune, the more you get to know it and find the notes in the right places. But those are some key points in this thing. So we're going to play a little bit more for you, just to sort of tie it all together. Okay, right from the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4.